Welcome back inside the Chamber of Truth with your co-host Leak and Josh. We got Kane back in the building with us. We about to talk about another title fight coming up. This time at the super lightweight division, 140 pounds. Teofimo Lopez taking on the challenger Subriel Matias, former champion at 140 pounds. And this should be a show-stopping fight. This is actually probably for 2025 that's booked right now. The fight I'm most looking forward to, just out of what we know that's coming up.
ESPN coming out with a banger.
Yeah, this is big time.
I can't even cap. This is a big time ass fight. I'm not even gonna cap. This is a big time ass fight for real. Fight.
Yeah, Matias, formerly known as the Boogeyman of the division, obviously that reputation took a little bit of a hit when he lost earlier this year to Liam Paro, lost his title to him. That was in June, bounced back in November with a win over Roberto Ramirez. Has now put himself right back in the mix to get a shot at arguably the top guy and the division, Teofimo. So I'm really excited to see this. These are two action-packed fighters. Matias, 100% knockout ratio in his wins. Teo, we obviously know what he can do with his athleticism and ability to put combinations together. Knockout power hasn't quite shown yet at 140 pounds, but we never know what we might see from him. So let's get some of your first thoughts. I'll start with you on this one, Kane. What you looking for in this fight? What's exciting about it to you? Overall thoughts.
This is a big fight. I'm glad to see Matias get another shot at the title, which we kind of figured would happen eventually at some point. And I'm excited for Teofimo in this fight. I'm excited to see what he does. Like you said, Matias, 100% knockout ratio on all his wins. You know he has power. Teofimo has power, like you said. It hasn't shown that much at 140, but we know it's still there. It can rear its head at any moment. All you got to do is get hit in a sweet spot. You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to seeing how this fight turns out, because this is going to be, I think it's going to be a really action-packed fight. Both of these fighters have power. Both of these fighters are have very, very good at picking their spots when it's necessary. I'm excited to see who wins the trades in this fight, who establishes their footing inside the phone booth, and how things go once the fight gets, kind of in that phone booth and they trade punches. As far as predictions, I'll say that because I don't know.
We'll get to that in a minute.
I don't know if y'all going to agree with me or not, but I'm excited to see that. I feel like this is a very exciting fight. It's going to be a very action-packed fight.
Josh?
Man, everything Kane said is, he basically hit it right on the nail. But, man, first and foremost, this is a fucking fun, friendly-ass fight for TV.
Yes.
You got a technical, explosive, super athletic fighter and Teofimo Lopez who, when the levels are raised at its highest, he performs and comes out.
That's what I love about him.
At every time. Subriel Matias knows this might be his last chance at a world title. Who knows? But Subriel Matias is a come forward, gets hit, but also dishes it back out painfully. And man, I personally think this is a fun fire fight, man. And personally, I have to give it to ESPN for making this fight, because honestly, I'm kind of surprised they even gave this to Teofimo Lopez. But it sounds like Teofimo wanted somebody of a name too.
Yeah.
And to be
honest, he's been pretty much begging for a big fight.
To be honest with you, out of all the fighters at 140, Subriel Matias may not be the best, but to me, he's the most dangerous because of what he possesses.
That makes sense.
And me personally, for Teo to go out and seek this fight, knowing, he doesn't really have to give. I would have, if I were a Teo, I would have never gave. I wouldn't have fought Subriel Matias. This is not a guy that you want to fight. This is a guy that you fight as a mandatory, that they force you to fight. This is not a guy that you volunteer to fight. So I have to give it to Teo.
Maybe Teo's new team has influenced his decision and giving him more confidence.
He is working with Canelo team.
Yes, he's with Eddie Reynoso now.
Personally, I think Canelo team does very well with fighters that are very athletically gifted, like Canelo. Like for Oscar Valdez, they did do a lot of technical adjustments on Oscar Valdez and did reignite his career, got him a championship. But Oscar Valdez, as technical as he is and sound as he is somewhat athletically gifted. He doesn't have that quick twitch athletic ability like
not
Teofimo
like
Lopez,
Teo, not at all,
or
no.
like Canelo Alvarez, where they can just turn something over quickly.
But see what you said. This is why we loved the sport of boxing. He's not waiting for it to be mandatory. He said he won't smoke with the most dangerous nigga at the division. This is why we fell in love with the sport. This is what the sport needs to get back to.
And now let me say this: I think Teo undeservedly got a lot of flack for his last fight because people didn't know who Steve Claggett was. Steve Claggett was a very good fighter.
He was just a tough dude who could take punishment.
I agree with that.
I think Teo heard that and he's like, you know what, I got to give these people a fight.
Well, also, I mean, the thing with Teo for me, watching him the past couple of years, is he just wants to make some bread. Like he is tired of fighting for $1 million.
Right,
that's how he said, "I get $1 million, and I'm the guy who puts all
that's
these."
That's what happens when
he wants to get the big money fights. So. Even with Josh Taylor, he fought Josh Taylor, got $1 million.
He was a B-side for that, though.
But still, I mean, he's tired of getting $1 million
for a B-side for a title opportunity.
Yes,
and
but
for the Ring magazine. I mean, that sounds like a hell of a deal to me.
Not to him. I mean, he took it, but obviously,
like I said, I was growing up in the days when HBO would give niggas $20,000 in a title shot.
But Teofimo has already been a champion prior to that, though. He's not a B-side who's his first opportunity. You saying that like it was somebody who came up
and won his first title shot. Champ, though, the dude lost his title off a loss. You don't have to.
Yeah, so did Matias, and he coming right back to get his now. I mean, so it's not like he asking for something out of the
Taylor
ordinary.
Gave him $1 million because you know what? I'll get this thing.
But with that being said, I think that's probably the number one deciding factor of why he's like, fuck it, give me Matias now. It's because he's trying to get paid.
Yep.
Like,
I feel him,
and he understands which a lot of the fighters haven't been on the same wavelength as him. Is I gotta make these fights to get this check. So
right.
I'm glad he's doing it. He's going.
I agree.
The warrior route. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep it honest, bro. I mean, I know a lot of black people are gonna get mad at this, but Teofimo, one of my favorites out there.
I fuck with Teo.
I agree.
Teofimo,
I fuck with Teo.
He's one of the best fighters out there, in my opinion.
In fact.
Well, I'm just saying in general.
I still don't think he beats Devin Haney.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. Teofimo, he plays into the race baiting shit.
He does,
and he's gonna talk about,
and that sells
exactly. That sells, and it gives him the opportunity to make big fights. Now, Subriel Matias not being from America, it's not the same.
Could you imagine Devin versus Teo if he beats Subriel Matias?
I can, but I would rather imagine Tank versus Teo.
That's not happening.
Neither is Devin versus Teo. So we don't need to talk about imaginary fights. When we got a fight right here that's already booked. Why are we talking about Devin Haney again? You see how the Haneyites do? I'm tired of the Haneyites.
Haney need to be worried about that
woman. This shit all the time. I just wonder what Haney would do with it. Let him bounce back from what he got to deal with.
I ain't gonna lie.
Devin versus Teo was discussed before Subriel Matias.
And did it get booked?
No.
Then stop it.
Haney got another fight he need to be worried about at home.
See? And that's a whole nother podcast.
Yep.
That ain't even for the Chamber of Truth.
We can do that anytime.
I'm not going to talk about that man personally. That's not what I do.
The man of God must go through many obstacles.
Going back to Teofimo and Subriel Matias, now the race baiting may not sell as much. Granted, we all know, a dark-skinned Cuban is a nigga that his slave ship of his ancestors stopped in the Caribbean. That's all it was. They took a different route. So he's black too. But, he's not a black American, which is what Teo likes to antagonize and go at, because he thinks Top Rank likes to promote the black fighters and more than they do the Latin fighters. So this may not be the opportunity, but if he does get through this, which is a big if, then we may see a Devin Haney or something like that where he can make a mega fight even bigger than this one. So I'm excited for it. I want Teo to win. I fuck with Matias,
Teo needs Devin Haney for a mega fight.
There we go, man. You see how this audience, I just want y'all to see what he just did.
I'm just being
honest. Just wait.
With y'all.
Just check the diction and the syntax of how he put that
Teofimo looks good against Subriel Matias. Bob.
He said Teofimo needs Devin Haney for a mega fight. So that's the only one he could have a mega fight with?
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money right there.
Is Devin Haney the biggest fight he could possibly make?
And 140, yes.
Is Devin Haney scheduled for a fight at all anytime soon?
No.
So why are we talking about? So why are we talking about?
Because he's a Haneyite. And
so why are we talking about?
Every conversation.
His suspension will be up in a couple of months.
He wants to bring him in every conversation.
He's training right now as we speak.
Yes, training is great. But that doesn't get you in the ring when you're suspended by the commission.
See?
Teofimo versus Tank is bigger than Devin. It
is, but
so then don't say he needs him for a mega fight. He can make it there too. He can make a mega fight with Shakur Stevenson.
First of all, stop mentioning a fight that's 50-50 for Tank, knowing he ain't never been in one in his life.
So here we going back to
my
bashing
God.
Tank again, just to promote Devin Haney.
That's crazy.
This is crowd.
It's the truth.
So we got to tear one down to build one up.
This is how we do it, and this is what the
You
listeners don't understand.
You can't. How you gonna mention Tank fighting? How you gonna mention Tank fighting Tio when Tank won't even fight the man in his own division? Devin at least unified. Fought champions. Took less money.
You know, Devin also unified with that canvas 3 times.
I seen him get his ass whooped. I seen him get his ass whooped.
Yeah, he got his ass whooped by a nigga who goes on PEDs and cheated 4 different ways, and also used an IV, and didn't even make weight after using the IV.
I apologize ahead of time to Teofimo and Sabrina Matias. Because this is y'all video. Y'all got a title fight book. Yeah. I don't know how the hell we get to talking about this shit.
I don't know why we talking about somebody that's
suspended. I'm just
suspended.
mentioning this because Bob Aaron mentioned this. After Subriel Matias and Tio,
Bob Aaron 135 years old, man.
Haney.
We'll see if it happens. Devin Haney's not with Top Rank. So we don't know if that's going to happen.
And that's fine. And they said Bob still gave him an offer.
And again, we still have a fight in front of us. We don't know who's going to win this fight before we can even talk about that. So going with that being said, let's get into predictions for this fight. Starting with you. Who you got?
I want to go with Kane. We'll start with Kane first.
Okay.
Let's start with y'all. Let's start with y'all first. I want y'all give y'all predictions, and then I'll give my expert prediction.
Go ahead, Kane.
I got Teo. And I don't think it's going to the judges. At all. I don't think you make it to the judges. I don't think you make it to the championship rounds. No. I see a stoppage.
I got T.O. too, but I do think it goes to the judges. The reason I got T.O. is because, number one, like you mentioned at the beginning, Josh, he plays up to competition. Mm-hmm. Every time when the lights are brightest and he knows, I mean, any man knows you get in the ring with Subriel Matias, you have to bring your A game. You can't come in there playing like you did against George Kambosos and expect to get out of there victorious. So he's not going to lollygag or play with this one. So when it comes to those type of stakes, he brings his A game. I expect nothing less than that. I expect Eddie Reynoso to have a positive impact on T.O.'s career and performance. I got him coming out of this, but I do think it goes to the judges just because Matias is a tough fighter. And again, we haven't seen T.O. dropping people at 140 quite yet. So I think he wins by decision. His athleticism and quick twitch will probably carry him through this.
Nobody chose the B-side, huh?
No, not this one.
I'm not going to lie. It's very easy to go with y'all and say the same thing, but at the same time, I have to keep in mind, I mean, don't get me wrong. T.O. has risen to the occasion in every single fight that he's been in that's been the biggest lights. But when you got somebody that has a gun that shoots just as big as your gun, things are different. Now let me say this. I think Teofimo is going to come in with a good game plan. He's going to come in very prepared under Canelo's team. They're going to have a very precise game plan. The only kind of hesitancy I have is Subriel Matias. The way Subriel Matias went out in the Paro fight, he's basically coming there, and if he doesn't get that title, he's going to die doing it. He's going to die trying. He got a lot of flack from his. Think about it. He was in Puerto Rico.
At home,
he had to hire security because he was getting flack from his own people for not trying hard, not fighting. He looked like he ate too much, and then basically struggled to get down to 140, and the weight drain from 140 was too much because what he did with Liam Parle was not him at all ever. I had never seen him look like that. I personally think he ate too much and the weight cut was too much for him, and he slowly strained himself to try to keep that belt. And once he got in the ring, he had nothing left. I think that personally is what's happened. But anyway, I personally think he's going to be very prepared for this fight. I also think he lives by the gun. I think he's going to die by that. That pressure, look, man, you can be as technical and gifted and quick twitch athletic as you want and explosive, but that pressure and that power to take throughout 12 rounds, he's never had to been through something like that. And to me, that is my only hesitancy about. I don't see T.O. stopping him at all. He's not gonna. I like now. If he does, it's gonna be off Subriel Matias getting desperate. I think that's the only way T.O. stops.
So late,
possibly late, or if something doesn't go right for Subriel, or if he starts getting desperate, can't put together any offense. That's the only way. But the thing is, it's just Subriel Matias has one hell of a chin, and that's always been part of his game. Like people don't realize when he fought Shohan Ergashev, who was a very highly rated amateur fighter, like very, very decorated amateur. Super Matias has been in some very good fights. Jeremiah Ponce was a very highly rated contender who was on a hot streak as well. They fought for an interim IBF belt. That was a hell of a fight itself. Super Matias is used to taking shots, but the problem is once you start, he just wears you down. It's just the power wears you down. It wears and I've seen people may not have been as talented or explosive as Teofimo Lopez, but have somewhat similar skills, have boxing skills, have athleticism, explosiveness. He's faced about 3 or 4 of those guys, aside from Pearl, which he didn't perform very well against. But I've seen him face guys who were somewhat similarly athletic to Teofimo, not as talented, and I've seen them run into a brick wall in the 4th or 5th round. So
your final prediction is
me personally, I think Teofimo Lopez wins by unanimous decision. But in my opinion, I would not be surprised at all if it becomes a firefight after the 6th or 7th round, because I you got to realize that's what's going to tell the fight to me. If you can get to the 5th and 6th round without having much damage, without having to expend too much energy and too much cardio, trying to keep Super Matias off of you, and you haven't taken too many shots, I think he'll survive. If he's taking too many shots by that time, I think Super Matias will start taking over, because at that point his will take over. Because as a fighter, once you see somebody finally breaking down, it is something in you, and is something nature in you press until he's down. Now, like I said, that could also create opportunities for Teofimo Lopez.
When you open up, you press it, you open up.
Absolutely. So, like I said, that's why I think this is a hell of a firefight.
I think he'll get outboxed clear.
I can see that.
I can see that too.
See that.
And that's why I said if he can get to the 6th round and look good, I can see him doing that. But at the same time, I know Super Matias is not coming there he didn't take this opportunity not to get outboxed.
It looked like we all got Teo on this one, which
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, obviously we know Matias could stop you at any time.
Me personally, I think this is 50-50, in my opinion. I think this is truly 50-50. If I had to put my house on somebody, I'd have to go with Teo, just because of the history and the pedigree in the background, and the trainer. But like I said, man, I think this is 50-50.
It's gonna be a damn good fight.
Because in my opinion, like I said, Teo has never faced anybody who hounds you. He does not. It has. First of all, Teo's never faced somebody that has a chin like this, and never faced somebody that has power
had a chin like
that. I feel like Claggett was honestly not. He wasn't taking too many shots, in my opinion. Claggett got hit with Claggett
at Teofimo had his highest output against Claggett of shots because of the pace he put on. So he took a lot of shots.
Claggett, but not clean shots in my opinion. Claggett he got hit cleanly a lot of times, but they were singular shots.
No flush shots.
No, he would get hit flush, but the thing is, if you have a chin, you can get hit flush. You just can't get hit flush with follow-ups.
Yeah, you can.
That's what
That's
what puts you down. When you can get hit. He was getting hit flush with a counter. He would put his hands up and get hit with a couple more shots, but 40% of that power is taking off those shots when your hands are up.
Yeah, true that.
He can walk through those.
So with that being said, now that we got that off, now we could talk about the hypothetical. And I still think Teo beats Devin Haney as well.
I got Teo beat Devin Haney respectfully.
And I understand that.
Devin Haney not even really from the city. I said it. He not even really from the city.
I don't blame him.
We don't claim him. We don't claim him at all. He from Vegas.
You don't need to claim him.
He not from where I'm from.
And that's fine.
I got Teo.
He said he fight by way of Las Vegas. That's what he say.
See?
Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter where you're from. You could be from Accra, Ghana. You can be from Zimbabwe. But when you step in that ring, all that matters is what you do and what the training. We don't care about where you're from.
Why do you think Devin Haney clearly beats Teofimo Lopez?
Personally, in my opinion, Teofimo has never fought anybody as long, other than Josh Taylor. But Josh Taylor doesn't have the athleticism. He doesn't have the footwork. He doesn't have the distance management. He doesn't have the defense. And he also, like I said, as long as niggas aren't on PEDs and make they weight.
Teofimo not gonna do that.
Okay, then the Teofimo's never fought somebody with a jab like Devin, or with a range like Devin, or distance management, or defensive sound, or defensive acumen like Devin. He's never faced somebody who can punch off angles, sharp punching. The last person he faced that punch that sharp was Lomachenko, but Lomachenko was too small.
Lomachenko, I was gonna say, he definitely fights off angles.
He does, but he was too small. And the thing is, Lomachenko finally found his range, but by the time he found his range, it was too late.
Yeah, but that's something common that he's done in a couple of fights where he
Same
turns it
thing
on
with
late.
Devin Haney. It's
Yeah,
because
turns it
guess
on
what?
late.
Because the range makes a difference.
Yeah, he gotta work his way in there.
And that's what I'm saying. Teo's never had to face another athletic
And Haney
fighter.
has faced someone like Teofimo with that athleticism.
Ryan is way more athletic than Teo.
Oh, I disagree.
I don't know that.
I think Ryan, if you want to say it's faster, hand
speed, power, and explosiveness. Ryan, by far.
I don't know that.
Not overall footwork athleticism.
That's what I'm saying. That's only one aspect of athleticism, and that is Teo. Obviously, Ryan has more power,
but
and maybe hand speed, but the rest of that.
Ryan to me is more explosive than Teo.
Ryan is flat-footed
as fuck.
He is flat-footed, but the thing is, you got to realize with that kind of speed, being tall and you mostly outraging
Ryan's
your
not
opponents.
twitchy. He's not.
Ryan's very twitchy. You can't say that.
On the offensive end with his hand speed, yes, but defensively, no.
When you got to realize when you're Ryan's height and you're taller than 95% of your opponents, and you have more power, like you don't need to. You got to realize he doesn't have to.
That's
be
not
very
from necessity.
defensive.
He doesn't have that ability. His feet don't move.
Who has forced him to do that?
It doesn't matter if someone forces him to do it. He can't do it.
You can't.
Devin Haney couldn't make him do it. It's not. No one's gonna make him do it. His feet don't move.
Well,
He's gonna trust in his left hook.
Devin Haney fought somebody.
He fought Tank Davis. You talking about who would make him move? He trusts in his left hook. He just doesn't. That's not what he
does.
does.
All belief in the left hook. He does.
I understand that. I understand that, but people don't realize he had no trainer for that fight. Joe Goosen.
Ryan Garcia did not listen to his trainer. He had one.
Joe Goosen said he was there once a week. He said
Ryan Garcia would not listen to him, take his advice.
So
that's his fault.
He had no trainer.
That's his fault.
And he was weight strapped, but he signed a contract.
Yeah, he was weight strapped in that one, and then he took steroids in the next one. So I mean, what the fuck? The nigga, anyway, either way,
y'all think
he's not more athletic than Teo.
But y'all count that as a win for him.
No, we don't.
Y'all just said it right now. Y'all just said it.
I seen him
hit the canvas.
He got his ass whooped, but y'all didn't put no context behind that.
Yeah, they don't need more context.
He got his ass whooped by a nigga on steroids.
We already have clips that have went viral where we understand that the nigga did not take an official loss, but the nigga got his ass beat.
He got assaulted.
Accept it. Oh, now you want to throw the law in it. So you get assaulted in the sport of boxing. Now we're going to bring the law into it.
Yes, you get assaulted in the sport of boxing, Kane.
And
so he can't fight back? I thought that was part of boxing.
Kane, if you take PEDs...
I don't know what he took. I wasn't there. I don't know what he took.
Come on now.
I don't know what he took. I wasn't there.
PEDs, using IVs, don't make the weight. Don't do that, Kane.
He was dehydrated. That's why he had the IV.
I don't know who he came more for, if it's Errol or Haney, but I think it's actually Haney. Nah, it's not even close. It's not even close. But yeah, Ryan Garcia's not more athletic than Teo, bro. Okay. He got more hand speed and more power.
He's definitely more powerful, for sure.
And hand speed.
Hand speed, yeah. He has way faster hands, for sure.
And explosiveness.
Define that.
The explosion, the one punch, the one punch drop.
Well, that's power. I already said power.
Explosiveness.
Trying to get a nigga another attribute with a synonym. he got power and explosion.
So they're not the same.
Okay. But yeah, I think.
But yeah, he's never.
I do think that's a great fight.
You're right. Devin Haney hasn't seen anything like Teo, but he has seen something similar. So if you, like I said, you fought not the footwork, but you fought somebody.
Ryan's not similar to Teofimo in any way.
Hand speed and power.
They're not similar fighters.
They're not. But like I said, Devin's also fought somebody with very good footwork. Teo. I mean,
no, they both have. They both share that same resume. Ned Kambosos, Lomachenko.
Exactly.
Yeah, they shared those.
Yeah. Exactly.
They went round robin with that. So I mean, you know.
But I understand why you guys would choose Teo. I understand that. It's the logical, like I said, to the casual eye, it's a logical choice.
I can't even.
To the casual eye,
the Haney fans be killing me, man.
Oh, man.
And I fuck with Haney, but man,
you just be welcoming it now. What has Haney done for you? What kind of contract have you and Bill worked out?
He's brought boxing back to the Bay Area.
Wow. Has he?
He did. He had one fight. He fought Regis out there.
Ken, you're excluded.
He fought
one
Regis
fight.
Out there.
One fight. So that's bringing boxing back to the Bay.
Who was the last time that brought a world championship boxing fight?
Andre Ward, son of God.
He coming back soon.
You know that.
Okay, the son of God. Who else? The child of God.
Oh, so he the child of God.
So the son of God and the son of Allah.
I rock with Jesus Christ. Just to be very clear.
Hey, we rock with
I rock
Allah.
with the Son of Man and the Word became
Haiti
flesh.
Muslim.
Just like my other 135 pounder, Abdul Wahid.
Abdul Wahid has not followed the faith.
Oh, you gonna question the man's faith
you gonna
now?
question his beliefs?
Abdul Wahid is not praying 5 times a day.
How we know that? I ain't there.
You don't know that. You're not with him 5 times a day. You don't know that.
I don't need to be. I see it.
We're gonna wrap this one up, man. Get with us next time.
Lord
Inside the
said
chamber.
you'll see a
When
man.
niggas ain't speaking blasphemy on people's faith and religion and practice and discipline. We gonna